here?
So I've been saying all along the Lakers need to go all out to get Kawhi, right? That they needed it, that they could get him plus LeBron. That it would trade anything to get Kawhi and LeBron. Then LeBron signs there. I say he still should get Kawhi. You don't want to punt on a year of LeBron's prime, but I'd maybe lessen the offer. Then I see the Warriors add Boogie Cousins, and my initial response is, like, if you can keep Ingram and Ball, even with Kawhi, you're not winning a title this year. Boogie's only going to be on the Warriors for 1 year because of the way that contract's structured.
Just wait.
So maybe wait. And then I called Cris Carter, and Cris Carter gave me some very interesting information that Kawhi Leonard is not demanding a trade to the Lakers. Kawhi Leonard is demanding a trade to the city of Los Angeles. And that city has two basketball teams, the Lakers and the Clippers. And, by the way, you could make an argument the Clippers got a more savvy general manager in Jerry West. They certainly have a more established coach in Doc Rivers.
Less media scrutiny.
And a lot of things there. And you also know Kawhi, the person, a hell of a lot better than I do. And I think most people are like, yeah, but in one place he can play with LeBron. That's not as attractive to Kawhi as it would be to most players, it would seem.
Yeah, I think Kawhi has a feeling that it's not as if he does not want to play with LeBron, but he doesn't feel as if his life's not going to be complete. He believes if he's in the Los Angeles market, that means if he's going through the doors that say Clippers, or when they make that transformation at Staples and the doors say Lakers. Like, he does not care. But one thing, Kawhi, in the back of his mind, he knows that if he does go to the Clippers, they won't be able to do anything this year, but he's only 27. He's going to be 20. He feels like more players would be ready to join him next year in Los Angeles. And you don't have to play basketball in Los Angeles with the Lakers. You can play with the Clippers. And Kawhi, I know this was going to be refreshing to Nick. Man, he likes Russell Westbrook. Not to partner with him, but the way Russ has treated the whole situation. Durant didn't want to play there. Russ was like, okay, no problem. I'll beat all you guys with whoever wants to come here and play. Kawhi feels like he can beat any team or any player. He believes he can beat LeBron in head-to-head. He believes he can beat Golden State in head-to-head because he's been very successful going against KD, LeBron, or Steph independent. So he has that type of confidence that the players would come to Los Angeles for the Clippers, even if he was there. And I would say that they were, because I asked him, what is the biggest misconception in this whole thing? And the biggest misconception is people think that San Antonio is a place for everyone, and it's not. It's a lot like some of the discussions that we've had about New England, where the players don't have the flexibility. Even they like to control who you're endorsing. They like to be able to sign off on, hey, you're endorsing this product? No, we prefer this other product. We prefer this shoe company over this company. Things like that begin to eat away at now. Kawhi, he wants to do all the right things, but he wants to be a free thinker. He wants to be able to, he will do things, but explain to him why. San Antonio right now is an organization, all the players that come there, they tell them what to do, and they want you to be robotic, and Kawhi is beyond that.
So let me just give people the timeline real quick. So there's already some wear and tear, if you will, on the relationship due to the restrictions on, you want me to run my endorsements by you? Yeah. You want to, like, what are you talking about here? Then he finds out.
With also no explanation of why in all these things.
This is just how we do things here. And the veterans on the team saying, this is how we do things here, even though Kawhi for the last 4 years has been the best player on this team. Then there is, he, with his representation, finds out, all right, what type of shoe, I'm about to be a shoe free agent. What type of money can I get? Wait, I'm worth $5 million a year? When Kevin Durant's worth 30, when James Harden's worth 20, and Kawhi believes he's better than those guys. Kawhi might believe he's better than LeBron. He certainly believes he is, when you talk about both sides of the ball.
I'm going to tell you what Kawhi thinks. Kawhi thinks he's the best two-way player in the world, and that's the only thing that's important. If you're evaluating two-way players, Kawhi thinks, I'm the best player.
So that all happened. And then there is what is believed to be a misdiagnosis of his injury. And then you have Tony Parker.
Which they told him, they told him also to go out there and play, and he re-injured himself. So there was no explanation to all the other things and then the injury.
And then Tony Parker comes off the top rope with a cheap shot, which while I have been somewhat defensive of the Spurs here because I think they've earned it with their long reputation. There is no real defending what Tony Parker did to a teammate when he doesn't know what Kawhi is actually going through. And so now that relationship is irrevocably broken. I'm curious.
And it's not based on that Tony Parker saying that. It's the accumulation of things and Kawhi realizing. They could have repaired it. Like that, the Tony Parker thing was not the last straw.
Okay.
The Tony Parker thing being him saying that his quad injury was
100 times worse.
Yes, they could have.
Kawhi's.
It's the totality of everything. And Kawhi realizing at 27 that this is the only time I'm going to have control. If I sign the Supermax deal, then they could trade me anywhere. I want to go to Los Angeles. I believe that's what makes me happy. I've been here. I've learned this system. I've done everything they asked me to do. I just want to go to Los Angeles. So that right there is really the Kawhi story in the saga with San Antonio.
What is the timetable here? Because we know that there's been some reports that he'd be willing to sit out for the whole year if he doesn't get traded. But realistically, what's the timetable for when the Lakers would need to either make an offer or move on or whatnot, and Kawhi's timetable as well with the Spurs?
I don't know if there's an actual timetable. I believe it's very, very important that the Lakers try to get Kawhi and try to get him signed. The Lakers they could be the big losers in this. The Clippers don't necessarily have the assets. They'd have to probably get a 3-team trade and have to be far more creative. But to think Kawhi won't go to the Clippers and to think Kawhi doesn't have as much trust or more trust in Jerry West and Doc Rivers, then we would be misinterpreting the situation.
He did not demand a trade to the Lakers. He demanded a trade to Los Angeles. A couple other things. The idea that the Spurs have a prohibition on sending him out west. True or false?
False.
The idea that
Popovich will try to accommodate Kawhi. He likes him, but Pop has an obligation to the organization
get the best
to
deal.
leave them. Yes.
Get the best deal possible. And to leave them, he's only got a couple years left, to leave them in the best hands possible. Also, you said he has a lot of respect for Kawhi, likes Kawhi. Pop is legendary about the way he treats his former and current players. There's a great story that I think Jalen Rose tells about when Avery Johnson was working on the television broadcast with ESPN, and the Spurs were in the NBA Finals. And Avery said, listen, guys, I got to go. We have a team dinner. Avery hadn't been on the Spurs in a decade at this point, but there was a team dinner, and he was a part of it, right? I say that to say this. Kawhi Leonard won the Spurs a championship. That was a great team win, but he was the best player on a championship team. What is his relationship now with Pop?
Him and Pop still have a good relationship, and they still communicate on a regular basis.
Okay, so that's something that people think that they
not get along.
That there's been a total severance there. And then the last thing is this. From everything you've told me and from what I've learned on my own, and Chris Broussard, by the way, is adding to this report saying it is a Los Angeles thing, not a Lakers thing. It also is going to have a chilling effect on the market if you're Philadelphia or if you're Boston or if you're Miami, which seems to want to get into the game, because there is a real belief, and I'm not speaking for Chris on this, there is a real belief around the league that Kawhi, it's not about Kawhi not re-signing with those teams. It's about Kawhi not wanting to play for those teams this year. Now, I've been critical. I think he has an obligation if he's not traded to play for the team he's under contract for, and if he gets traded to play for those teams. But Kawhi has some trump cards. He can just not show up for physicals. He can do things that make it untenable to be traded anywhere, and him being so dead set on Los Angeles, I would say all of those options appear to be on the table.
And then the last little wrinkle is it's interesting that he's not craving to go play with LeBron James. He wants to go play, whether it's with LeBron or not, he definitely wants to go play in Los Angeles.
All the groups, that being Paul George and other groups reached out to him. Kawhi let everyone know that I want to go to L.A., and I'm not looking to team up with anyone, and I'm competitive. I want to compete against the best.
Right.